So welcome everyone. In this video we will talk about Volhard's method along with modified Volhard's method, and in the end we will talk about the applications, the limitations as well as the advantages of this method. Okay, so now let us begin with this video. So a precipitation titration in which silver ion is precipitated by thiocyanate ion in the presence of iron 3 as an indicator in acidic medium is known as Volhard's method. Okay, so firstly we must know that Volhard's method is a type of our precipitation titration which means that in this precipitates will be formed. Okay, so what is happening that in this reaction silver ions are being precipitated by using thionate ion. Okay, and this reaction it occurs in the presence of our iron 3 as an indicator and also in acidic medium. This is just the basic of our Volhard's method. We will understand this better by seeing the chemical reactions, and this method is quite similar to our Mohr's method, which is another form of our precipitation titration. So if you have understood Mohr's method, you can also easily understand this method. So the indicator which we will use is ferric alum. The titrant which is used is either potassium thiocyanate or ammonium thiocyanate. The acid which is used to maintain the medium acidic, in the definition we said that acidic medium is used. Okay, so to keep the medium acidic, nitric acid is used, and here we will use AgNO3 which will be providing us with the silver ions which are to be precipitated. Okay, so now let us understand this. So firstly what we will do, we will carry out the titration only. This is precipitation titration, so obviously from the name itself it is clear we will perform titration. So in our conical flask we will take our sample which will be having silver ions. Okay, so from the burette what we will do, we will add our titrant which is either potassium thiocyanate or ammonium thiocyanate, and in our conical flask we will add our indicator. Okay, so this is our first reaction. So firstly what is happening, that silver ions will react with our thiocyanate ion to form silver thiocyanate, and silver thiocyanate is a white precipitate. Okay, this is our first reaction. In the very first step what happens, that white precipitates are being formed. Now what happens, that when all the silver ions will be consumed, when all the silver ions will react with thiocyanate ions, which means that all the silver ions will react with thiocyanate ions, which means no more silver ions are present, then what will happen, then the excess thiocyanate ions, okay, this is SCN negative. Okay, then the excess thiocyanate ion, they will react with the indicator ferric alum. So this is our second step. Now what is happening, now all the silver ions have been consumed, so our titrant which is having thiocyanate ions, that will react with our ferric ions of the indicator to form iron thionate complex which is of red color. Okay, so endpoint is achieved by the appearance of permanent red color. This is our final step. Okay, so now let us recall what happened now. So in the first step what happened, that silver ions were precipitated. Okay, we took silver nitrate and we took our titrant which is either potassium thiocyanate or either ammonium thiocyanate in the presence of our indicator, and finally our silver thiocyanate was formed which is of white color. Okay, white precipitate was formed in our step 1. Okay, now in the step 2 we said that when all the silver ions have been consumed, but then what happens, then the excess thiocyanate ions of our titrant will react with the indicator having ferric ions to form iron thiocyanate complex which is having red color, and the appearance of this red color will be indicating our endpoint. Okay, this is our basic of our Volhard's method. Okay, so here I was drawn the diagram. This is same diagram only, that in the conical flask we will be having our AgNO3, the nitric acid to maintain the medium acidic, and the indicator, and from the burette we will add our titrant. Okay, so now let us see that the basic medium is not used for this reaction, because in basic medium what happens, that ferric alum gets hydrolyzed. Okay, so here I have shown the reaction that our ferric alum it gets hydrolyzed. That is why basic medium cannot be used for Volhard's method. Acidic medium is must. Okay, so now let us begin with the modified Volhard's method. Up to now we talked about Volhard's method, so here we will talk about the modification which we do in Volhard's method, which is also important topic. So what happens, that when chloride ions are analyzed, the Volhard method has to be slightly modified, and that is known as modified Volhard method. So what do we do? Modified Volhard method is a back titration method in which excess of a standard solution of silver nitrate is added to a chloride containing sample solution. Okay, so let us talk about this. So in the first step, what we do, that we will add excess of our silver nitrate solution to a chloride containing sample solution. Okay, so this, you will see only this first reaction for now. So in our conical flask here, we are having this sample having chloride ions. Okay, this sample will be titrated with our excess of silver nitrate. Okay, then what will be formed? AgCl, NaNO3 and unreacted AgNO3, which means which has been present in excess. This is our step 1. So I hope this is clear to you. In step 1, what is happening, that our sample which is having chloride ion, it is titrated with excess of AgNO3, and in the first step some of the AgNO3 will be remaining in our conical flask, which will be unreacted because this is present in excess. Okay, this is our step 1. So now what happens, that the excess silver is then back titrated. This is our excess silver. Okay, this is now back titrated using a standardized solution of potassium or ammonium thiocyanate using ferric ion as an indicator. This is now again the, now in the second step again the same Volhard's method will be there. Okay, so this is our second step. Now what is happening now, these products of our first step, okay, we have taken in this flask. Okay, this is AgCl, NaNO3, unreacted AgNO3, which are the products of our first reaction. These are taken in our flask along with our indicator, which is ferric alum, and to maintain the medium acidic we take nitric acid. Now these products, they will be again be titrated with our titrant ammonium thiocyanate. Now this is we call modified Volhard's method. Okay, so in the first step what we did, in the first step we took a sample having chloride ions and we titrated it with excess of silver nitrate, and some of the silver will remain unreacted. Then the products of these will be again titrated with our titrant, which is potassium or ammonium thiocyanate. Okay, this is our second step. Now this is actually what is the modified Volhard's method. Okay, so this is basically used to determine the chloride ions. So I hope this is clear to you, that in this method what we do, we perform back titration. Okay, so two times the titration are being performed, firstly with the AgNO3 and NaCl, and then the products which are being formed, they are again titrated with our titrant, which is this one. Okay, this is our modified Volhard's method. Now here some important points are to be considered, that here silver is present in two forms. Okay, in the form of AgNO3 and AgCl. Okay, so what is happening, that the AgCl, which is our precipitate in the conical flask, it is more soluble than AgNO3, and it will react with our titrant first from the burette, hence the desired endpoint will not be obtained. What I'm saying is that the silver which is being present, it is in the form of AgCl as well as AgNO3, and AgCl is more soluble than AgNO3, and it will react earlier with our titrant, and if it will react earlier, then our desired endpoint will not be formed. So what will happen, to prevent this error, the precipitate must be filtered off before titrating with our thiocyanate ions. Okay, so we have to filter off our precipitate before performing this second step, which means that the products which were formed here, we have to remove our precipitate and then we have to titrate this with our titrant. Or there are other alternatives also. What we can do, some volume of wetting agents like nitrobenzene or chloroform is added in the flask, which forms a film around the precipitate of AgCl and prevent its solubility. Or the other method is that we can use tartrazine as an indicator. Okay, these are just the methods by which we can prevent this error. Now let us talk about the applications of Volhard's method. So this Volhard's method is used for the determination of halides such as chlorides, bromides, iodides, and anions like phosphate, arsenate, chromate, sulfite, carbonate, oxalate, and potassium as potassium tetraphenyl burate. So this is the application of Volhard's method. Now let us talk about its advantages. So the very first advantage is that it is useful when the titrations have to be performed at low pH. Okay, because in this acidic medium we use. Okay, so the strong acidic environment, it gives advantage for halide analysis because ions like carbonate, oxalate do not interfere. Okay, and then the other advantage is that it gives accurate result due to back titration. Now these are the main advantages of our Volhard's method. Now let us discuss its limitations. Okay, so the limitations are that this method cannot be used when the solution has to be neutral. Okay, because we said that here acidic environment is necessary. So in a neutral solution this method will not be used, and this method is time consuming because firstly we have to perform direct titration, then we have to perform back titration. Okay, so a lot of time is being consumed, and sometimes adsorption of silver ion may give false endpoint. Okay, so this is all about the limitations of Volhard's method. So if you like the video, please subscribe. That would be very helpful. So thank you for watching.